Wow, check out this cool location. We are back in the Wisconsin Dells. Look at this rooftop with the wizard here. It's Wizard Quest. They've got trees on the top of the building. Cool globe planet thing over there. Very fancy. We have to go through this building to get to our next destination. And right when we walk into this building, we are greeted by this huge, fierce-looking purple dragon. To greet customers in, check out his tongue. Looks like Gene Simmons. Welcome to another edition of Tommy Travels. It's Tommy Travels. And we are back here in the beautiful Wisconsin Dells today. Look at that, not a cloud in the sky. The last time we came here, we went to the Ripley's Believe It or Not Museum. And very close by is this place right here. And I thought, next time I come out here, I'm gonna have to check it out. So, it's a beautiful day here. There's gonna be a lot of cool things, I think, on this journey. So, come on with me, let's go see what there is to see. The water looks pretty good out there, but when you come in by the dock over here, looks like St. Patrick's Day.
Style. Not only there's a beautiful color of orange, there are also reversible. So if anyone's left-handed, don't worry. They work for everyone. Now I've actually never had to use it. We're over 160 years out doing tours. The United States quite well. We are quite a point out where there are stuff like that. Well, we're going to be doing here in just a second, so enjoy your ride.
And here we go. Backing out of the dock area. There's some beautiful scenery already.
Wisconsin Dells was originally named Kilbourne City after its founder Byron C. Kilbourne. In 1931, that name would change to reflect the beauty of the river. Wisconsin comes from the Chippewa word Mascousic, meaning deep, dark, rushing water, and Dells comes from the French word Dalles, meaning flat or table-like layers of rock. So, put that together, you get deep, dark, rushing water through flat, table-like layers of rock. And I'd say that sums up the views out here pretty well. But now if you would take a look on over to your right side, look down at the water and note the color there. Now take a look on over to your left side, look down at the water and note the color over there. Now you may notice, it's the same color. Now that muddy brown color does not come from mud or pollution, as many people believe. It actually occurs in the river naturally. Farther upstream, the Wisconsin River runs through tamarack and oak swamps. Tamarack trees in those swamps create an acid known as tannic acid, or tannin, into the river. Tannic acid acts as kind of a natural dye, giving the river this dark coloring, and although it sounds kind of nasty, it's actually completely harmless. You can find it in many common drinks such as coffees, teas, Coca-Colas, root beers, or of course my personal favorite, Jack Daniels. But now if you look out along your right-hand side, coming to view is a beautiful little inlet. Land comes down to the water. Sometimes you can see deer or other wildlife stopping to get a drink. That is Chapel Gorge. As we pass by Chapel Gorge, we are entering the narrow channel known as the Narrows. At its narrowest point, the Narrows are only 52 feet across. And they're actually pretty well known. Before Wisconsin was famous for its beer, brats, and cheese, people knew it for its lumber industry. Now the lumber up north is from the cold, harsh Wisconsin winters cutting down the northern pine. They'd form those logs into lumber rafts over 100 feet long, load them up with lumber, and send them down the Wisconsin River. That's because before the Kilbourne Dam was built in 1909, this water is about 20 feet shallower. It ran about 35 miles per hour. There were whitewater rapids, rocks sticking out, whirlpools, and most dangerous of all, directly ahead of the boat now, a 90-degree turn. Not many lumber rafts and came shooting around that corner, ran into the rocks, lost their lumber, their raft, or even their life. Actually, one summer, 27 lumber rafts and lost their life in that corner, earning the nickname the Devil's Elbow. Now, this area was so dangerous and the lumber company was losing so much lumber and so many men that eventually they created a new profession. That profession was the standing river pilot. Now, there were 4 standing river pilots, and they'd wait upstream till the raft came through. They'd jump on that raft and help the lumber navigate their way safely through the Narrows, as they were experts on this area. Now, the most famous of those 4 standing river pilots is a man named Leroy Gates, who claimed he never lost a man or a raft. But the real reason that Gates is so famous is not due to his skill as a pilot, it's due to his marketing ability. Now, not only was Gates quite the showman, even known to dress up in a suit and a top hat to take his rafts downriver, he also left us his business card, or something called the first billboard of Wisconsin Dells. He actually engraved that into the cliffs. As we round the corner, on your left-hand side, you'll be able to see that engraving.
I have no idea.
Now, time and weather have kind of worn away at that inscription, but it does read Leroy Gates, Dells and River Pilot from 1849 to 58. Now, although Gates was quite talented at his job, like I mentioned, claiming he never lost a man or a raft, he did eventually lose that job as a standing river pilot. That's because the lumber industry moved over to the much safer railroads, so foreign transportation. Gates loved the river so much he decided to stay here. He started giving tours, founded a company he called the Dells Boat Tours. Now, you might have heard of that. You should have heard of that, because those are the exact same Dells Boat Tours you're riding on today. Back in Leroy's days, though, they looked a little different. You showed up to the docks, gave Leroy Gates 2 bits, and in return, he'd give you 2 oars. He then spent 8 or more hours rowing up and down the Wisconsin River, while Gates sat there sipping lemonade and telling you all about the scenery. Now, as a tour guide, I personally think that sounds pretty good, but we do tend to think our tours are slightly more accommodating these days. However, we do have one alligator. Now, look like Allie the alligator is actually out for us today. If you look up ahead along your left-hand side, she's lying out on the rock ledge there, her jaws hanging wide open. Her nose is pointed out ahead of the boat, kind of hiding from the sun under that tree branch there. Head on her left. That is Allie the alligator. Just about directly to the left of our bow at the moment, the most exotic creature on the Wisconsin River. Excluding myself and Luke, of course. But I do have some confused looks back there. Maybe you guys don't recognize that species of alligator. Well, that's okay. Actually, at first I didn't either. So I asked our resident zoologist about that. She told me that's not actually an alligator. It's not even a crocodile. That species is actually known as a rockodile. But also known she's not really moving a lot. I think that's because the Joliet scares her. We are a pretty big boat. Because if you ask me, she looked absolutely petrified. Sorry for all these bad jokes, but you gotta expect that. This is Wisconsin. I've gotta be a little cheesy, after all. But, it's not made before you go too far. Wouldn't want to go overboard. Here's a break for a little bit up here. I'll be coming up if you have any questions, but in the meantime, just sit back, relax, enjoy this beautiful morning. We are entering an area known as Lover's Lane. So we do have a tradition here in the boats. If you gave that special someone, or hey, you got kind of lucky, you're sitting next to someone pretty cute. Well, how about you lean over, give that person a nice, big, tender $20 bill. But if you look up ahead of the boat here, you'll see not only the wildlife of Wisconsin Dells, the tourists, you'll also see a set of stairs leading up. People often ask me, Joe, where do those stairs go? Well, the truth is, folks, they don't go anywhere. They're there all year long.
He's full of the jokes. So this is what they call Witches Gulch. Feels like we're going into a cave because it's like 15 degrees cooler than what it was when we parked in the parking lot. Look at that. Look how narrow it gets up here. Look at that.
Okay, yeah, Duck Daddy.
It goes all the way up there.
I want to feel it.
The sun doesn't even really make it all the way down here, but you can see it's very sunny up there.
Dad, look at
This huge tree, the base of it stops right there at the rock. It just seems to keep growing and stays alive. But look at that. That is just amazing. It's a little creepy as we walk through here. Very narrow rock formations. Look at this, jets right out into the walkway. Look at all this moss growing up the side of this hill here. Oh, and the sunburst coming through. That is beautiful. There are so many cool pictures I'm gonna have. Look at this tree just happened to fall in the perfect spot to catch with another tree. And there it sits. And now we're entering Spooky Lane, where it gets really, really narrow. Look at that. Beautiful. But spooky. Okay, and welcome to Tommy Travels. We've got the captain of this fine vessel. And what is your name?
My name is Luke.
Nice to meet you, Luke. Welcome to Tommy Travels.
Thanks.
And how long have you been doing this?
Well, this is my third summer here at the boats, but it's my first year driving them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So were you doing the tour guide
Right,
stuff
right,
before?
right.
Okay. So, and then you trained in and got to do this. How do you
Right.
like it?
This is hard to complain about. I love my job. You get to come out and you get to drive boat every day and see all this beautiful scenery. I absolutely enjoy what I do day in, day out.
What would you say your favorite part of the tour is?
My favorite part of the tour is right here in the Witches Gulch. I think this is absolutely beautiful, and on really hot days, it's like 15 degrees cooler in there, so it's very nice to walk back in there.
Yes, I am absolutely fascinated. I took so many pictures back there. I don't know if I'll be able to even share them all.
Right, it's really hard. You get around another corner, you want to take another picture, you get around another corner. Yeah, I get that for sure.
Yes, well, thank you for being on the show here today, and keep at it.
Oh, for sure, and thanks for coming on board.
Thank you very much.
Pleasure to have you.
Now if you look out ahead of you, or maybe notice as you're pulling into the gulch, the river does widen quite a bit out ahead of us. Now people often wonder why the river gets so wide all of a sudden. And here at the boats we did wonder that as well. So actually during the 1990s we hired a survey team to come on here, spend a summer kind of studying the rocks and history around this area, trying to figure out why all of a sudden the river gets so wide. So they spent the whole summer doing that, eventually publishing their papers, and we here in the boats were all astounded to find out that the reason the river gets so wide all of a sudden is because the banks are farther apart. It really is a paradox. But I think he's made up his mind here. I think he's going to dock at the right dock. We're going to head up the walkway here to a small amphitheater area where I'll give you a little history on the area. You then head up around the tops of those cliffs, down past some pretty cool rock formations, and end up on the dock on the left side. Situated here, that is Stand Rock that's standing in front of you guys. Stand Rock is the most famous and most photographed rock formation here in Wisconsin Dells. Not for the Dells was famous for its water parks, t-shirt shops, upside down white houses. People actually came here to see the beautiful rock formation, such as Stand Rock, and the rest of all the wonderful scenery you've seen along your tour today. Now the man who made those rocks famous was Henry Hamilton Bennett. Like I mentioned, over by Witches Gulch, he was a local photographer. Before that though, he was a carpenter from Canada. He moved to the United States where he was drafted into the Civil War. Now during that war, he actually crippled his hand, so he couldn't practice carpentry anymore. So instead he came here to Wisconsin Dells where he purchased a photography shop from Leroy Gates. Now then started taking photos of this beautiful area, loved the scenery around here. But his favorite part of the river were the lumber raftsmen. Unfortunately for him, they did not stay still long enough for the cameras of the day. Back in the late 1800s when he was taking photos, it took about 4 minutes to take a picture. And you had to stay still that entire time or else your photo would turn out blurry. Now, but it found a way around that. He invented a new device of a matchbox and rubber band that he called the snapper. Snapper is kind of like the shutter that's in all your cameras today, and that allowed him to take instantaneous photos. So the first of those instantaneous photos he took were lumber raftsmen. They're throwing ropes back and forth to each other. However, his critics saw his photos and they thought they were staged. They called him a phony.
So he made up the whole thing, just used wires to hold up the ropes. Now Bennett wanted to prove them all wrong. To do that, he came over to Stand Rock, climbed up on that ledge behind you and set up his camera. He then has 14-year-old son, Ashley Bennett, climbed there on that ledge next to Stand Rock. And then just like any good father would, he told his son to jump across that 5.5-foot gap. Now, actually took Ashley Bennett 17 tries before he was able to make that jump. I'm just kidding. Next took H.H. Bennett 17 tries before he was able to capture Ashley Bennett in mid-air, like you see in that picture in front of you. But all that effort was worth it. No one can say that photo is fake. There are definitely no wires or anything else holding Ashley Bennett in midair. So H.H. took that off to Boston, where he actually got pretty famous off that photo. People saw that picture as well as the rest of his work, and they asked him where that beautiful scenery was. He, of course, directed them here to Wisconsin Dells. People came flooding to the area. They took Leroy Gates' boat tours and became the tourist destination it is today. So on behalf of your captain, Luke, and I, and the entire Dells boat tours, I'd really like to thank you guys all for coming out and seeing what truly made the Dells famous. We're kind of known for our water parks and such today, but this is what really brought people here in the first place, so I'm glad you guys all came out this morning to see that. Now we're going to recreate that famous jump here in just a second, so do you have any volunteers? I'm kidding, of course. We're going to have our famous jumping German Shepherd of Juneau County do that jump for us. I'm just saying that dog to jump across the gap and then back, not 17 times like Ashley Bennett. So I'd recommend having your cameras ready or taking a video if you want to capture that for sure.
Oh my gosh, look at that. I don't think the dog wants to jump. This could be a doggy homicide here.
Okay, Joe.
Yeah.
You're on.
Might have to send the
Maybe if I get up there, I'll start teaching a chipmunk too.
Our tour guide is Joe that they're talking about.
Just wait, don't use your finger. Also, will be a chipmunk.
Chipmunk is stealing the show.
Here it goes. Whoa! It's gonna jump back.
No chipmunk over there.
Oh! Wow. Now that is impressive. We're in the little gift shop area. Got some pictures of some Indians. And to go along with it, we've got this guy right here. Hello, sir. Welcome to Tommy Travels. Well, they've got a wood carving of this captain, complete with 2 parrots, the authentic pipe, and the puppy dog. Well done, whoever did that. Well done. They've got a Scenic Overlook here, and you can use these binoculars if you want, but everywhere you go, very scenic. Just look at that. Beautiful. This is cool. Look at this rock cliff. It enters into a little cave area on our way back to the boat. Very cool. This one is called Toadstool Rock because this looks like a little stool, and up there kind of looks like a toad, I guess. Very interesting.
Dad, why does it say Toad?
Yeah.
Look at that, that's Visor Ledge. Wow. Pretty cool how nature does stuff like that.
There it goes right now.
That is slide rock right there. Moves 1 inch every 10,000 years. even got a cool little beach area over here. That looks like it'd be a fun place to have some good times. Wow, what a relaxing day. It's just so beautiful outside and being on the boat and the beautiful weather. A few little clouds in the sky, but just adds to the ambiance. I will definitely have to be doing something like this again soon. And I hope to have you come along for the ride. Well, as you know, I always like to end these things on a waterfall if I can. And this is Witches Falls that we are looking at right here, which leads right into Witches Bathtub, which goes right down here. That is the Witches Bathtub. Very calming and relaxing. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today on Tommy Travels. It has been a beautiful day out here. If you've never been to the Wisconsin Dells, you should definitely come out here. Very, very worthwhile. Lots of corny jokes, but very worthwhile. And if you like what you've seen here today, please go ahead and hit like on my YouTube channel. And while you're at it, just go ahead and hit subscribe and the bell notification next to it. That'll just give you future updates of videos that are yet to come. And then if you'd like to follow me on Instagram or Facebook or any of that, just go to tommytravels.fun. It's got my current and previous video as well as even my show theme. So lots of ways to get a hold of me. You guys, thanks again for hanging out with me today, and I hope to catch you on the flip side. They've even got a place called Oodle Smack Popcorn. I don't need any popcorn today, but I do like this guy. Looks like he's putting together a batch of popcorn himself. It's awful tempting, sir, but I have to head back home.